Getting the most out of your doctor's visits can be difficult, as multiple concerns, rushed appointments, and overwhelming atmospheres can leave you with more questions than answers. Rachael Rivero from Kansas Care Connect joins us on this Wellness Wednesday with tips on how to feel prepared after any routine or specialty appointment. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Of course. So we've been talking about how hard it is to go to doctor's appointments. It can feel intimidating, or sometimes we're always really busy, so we forget things. So
Yes.
What do you think are the top things that people just often forget or are often overlooked when they go?
Well, preparation really is key, right? And so if you're not really thinking ahead of time of questions that you have or changes or symptoms that were concerning to you between the last appointment and this appointment, it can feel really overwhelming trying to rehash and remember all of that and get it all out, and appointments can feel really rushed. And so if you're not prepared, it can be very, very stressful, and then you always leave the appointment thinking, oh man, like what just happened? I didn't even get to ask the questions that I had, or I'm not sure what to do from here. So preparing is really important, and so that's kind of just the gist of what we're going to talk about today, is some of those tips and tricks.
Yeah. Do you think that people should carry like a notepad or something with all the important things that they want to talk to their doctor about?
Yes, keeping notes is always very, very helpful. So we recommend, if you have a specific notebook you want to keep, that's always what you put your notes in, and it's something that's always out. So if something pops up between appointments, you're like, oh, I need to write this down, so that you're not rushing and trying to get everything and remember everything right before the appointment. But yeah, keeping track of changes in symptoms or concerns that you may have, as well as questions that pop up. Say maybe you're talking to a family member and they ask you a question, you're like, oh, I'm not sure what that is. So write that question down and take it with you. And if there's any other, you see something on TV and you're like, oh, I wonder if that's something that I could benefit from, things like that. Write it down, take it with you, and that way you don't have to worry about remembering everything. You've got it right there, you're prepared, you're ready to go. So when the doctor comes in, you're like, hey, I've got these questions, zip through them, write down the answers so that you remember. Another thing that I recommend is if you struggle to remember, or you always leave thinking, what just happened, what did they say? Bring somebody with you, bring a family member, a friend, somebody that can help you take those notes, help you remember, help you make sure all the questions are addressed before you leave, those kinds of things. So those things really make a difference. I always recommend 3 things to leave the appointment with. Know what the plan is. So if you're not sure, ask these questions. What's the plan? What do I need to watch out for? And what do I do next? What's the next thing? What do I need to prepare for, especially before I come back? That kind of a thing. So those are the key tips I've got for you today.
No, definitely. Honestly, I'm those type of people that forget what I'm going to say when I'm at the doctor's. And one thing I wanted to ask, you kind of gave tips on what the patient should do, but what should the doctor do to kind of ease them in and help them remember?
Take time to listen, make sure that you ask if they do have any questions. If you see that they brought in a notebook or something, remind them, hey, did you bring something you wanted to ask me? And just take the time to listen. I think everybody can get really rushed, and it can be very difficult to take that step back for a second and just really truly listen and say and ask questions on their end too. I mean, they usually have their routine questions, but things like that, if you see those notebooks, if you have a family member there, like address and make sure you're asking, hey, did you have any questions or concerns that you wanted to ask me about before they leave the room? Yeah,
most definitely. Well, thank you, Rachael. Doctor's visits can be hard, but with the right preparation, it can be easier.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And hey, as always, we have details and more information at cake.com/guest, along with this interview. We'll be right back.